رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال تعالى في القرآن المجيد: إن عليكم لحافظين كراما كاتبين يعلمون ما تفعلون. وقال تعالى: الذين ينفقون أموالهم بالليل والنهار سرا وعلانية فلهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون، أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. صدق الله العظيم. وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عن رواية زيد بن الحارث: يا رسول الله لم أراك تصوم شهر من شهور ما تصوم من شعبان. قال: ذلك شهر يغفل الناس عن بين رجب ورمضان، وشهر ترفع فيه الأعمال إلى رب العالمين، فأحب أن يرفع عملي وأنا صائم، أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. Alhamdulillah, great ni'mat, opportunity gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has once again allowed us to come together and offer a Jummah in a collective manner. For the ni'mats, opportunities Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us, we have to send shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and show our gratitude. When a person shows his gratitude, one example our teacher gave, that if your father buys you very inexpensive gifts, and you tell your father, oh father, I love you so much, I love this gift so much, I'm so happy for this gift. And then you take that same gift and you drop it in the trash in front of your father. Your words are saying one thing, but your actions are saying another. So when we say we are happy, we are grateful to be Muslims, we're grateful for the Iman, the gift of Iman. So what is required for me to back up to, we say we love, but our actions should back up what we say. So we have to protect our Iman and make a'mal of our Iman. So the fact that Allah subhanahu is allowing us to come together and offer salah, we send a shukr, a hamd, and we thana towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we've been the month of Rajab, and today is the 15th of Sha'ban. 15th of Sha'ban is happening right now. And there are many hadith that show the virtue of the 15th of Sha'ban. Many hadith that substantiate the virtues of the 15th. But nowhere does it discuss special a'mal that takes place. There's no special, no special ibadat, worship a person now starts doing on this day. We just need to increase in our a'mal, increase in whatever ibadat it is that we do, whether it's the recitation of Quran, dhikr, salat, nafil, prayer. And if you're fasting, then mashallah, you're fasting. There's no special ibadat on this day. We just increase whatever ibadat it is that we're doing. So Rasulullah was asked, "Oh Rasulullah, we see you worshipping Allah during this month of Sha'ban in a manner we have never seen you worship elsewhere, aside from Ramadan. We see you are fasting more than other months. We see you worshipping more than other months, ibadat, recitation of Quran. Why is that so? Why is it that you're worshipping Allah much more in the month of Sha'ban than you are in the remaining months aside from Ramadan?" And Rasulullah mentioned, this is the month where my a'mal and our deeds, our record is raised towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I want it to be such that when my deeds are presented to Allah, Allah sees me and finds me in a state of fasting, in a state where I am doing increasingly good amounts of ibadat. Every year we hear the words echoing every year, the same words we hear, that, oh, subhanAllah, Ramadan is right around the corner. Subhanallah, I didn't realize how close Ramadan is. Subhanallah, tomorrow's Ramadan, we're just so shocked. We're so shocked. Now, why is it that we're always exclaiming such a thing? Wow, Ramadan came so fast, it feels like Ramadan was just yesterday. The Sahaba Ikram, 6 months prior, they're already making dua. They're already making dua for, oh Allah, allow us to reach the month of Ramadan. Allow us to reach the blessed month of Ramadan. They're not only making dua, they are already preparing themselves for the month of Ramadan. Because of this preparation, they were not so shocked that Ramadan just came upon them. But why do we keep echoing these exclamations, wow, Ramadan came so fast? Because if I'm making no preparation for Ramadan, if I'm not making any preparation for Ramadan, I'm just carrying about my business, praying whenever I can, coming to the masjid whenever I feel like, then yes, when Ramadan does come and there was no preparation done prior, then we'll be surprised when Ramadan comes upon us. So that preparation needs to be made. That preparation, well now what preparation are we talking about? What preparation do these scholars advise us about regarding? The preparation of our a'mal, the preparation of our nafs, the preparation of my habits. If I'm involved in haram, if I'm involved and have these haram habits where I listen to music, or I look at haram, or watch videos, or accidentally scrolling through the apps, the shorts we have now, and every social media has some variant of shorts where you just continue scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and you don't realize. You're scrolling, and it might be a video, just someone cooking something, but there's music being played. Person is showing you how to garden, but there's music being played. So now we are unconsciously, subconsciously, now we're just absorbing this haram. We're being presented or being exposed to haram. So prior to the days of Ramadan, we have to start leading off these things. The things that invite the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every day, every salat, every rakat, we're making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Allah, guide us to the straight path. And then what is the straight path, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us to make dua. When you make dua, then be very detailed in your dua. What is it that you want? Be as detailed as you want. So now I'm making dua, Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Allah, guide us to the straight path. And by saying this is sufficient. Allah, of course, knows what you're asking for, the straight path. But be detailed, be greedy in your du'as. غَيْرِ الصِّرَاطِ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ. Allah, what is the straight path? The straight path which? You have rewarded those who have stayed on those paths. And not the path, غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِينَ. Not the path whom people have gone on, and they have invoked and invited your anger. So be greedy with our du'as. And as we're preparing for the days of Ramadan, we start to lean off those things that invite the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that anger Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that takes us away from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When a person does haram, when a person does evil or sin, a dark spot comes in the hearts. And when a person is doing this continuously with this no balance of good to balance it out, then the heart becomes very pitch black. And any words of advice to that person whose heart is black, pitch black, it feels very deafening to him. Like, oh brother, why are you telling me about the hadith? Why are you telling me about Quran? Why are you telling me about sunnah? I don't like this. Now is not the time for this. Tell me in a better place. I'm outside shopping. Or, I just left the masjid, I'm about to get in my car. Why are you advising me? Why are you reminding me of my responsibilities? They don't like it. It becomes so burdensome and disturbing to them. So our amal, the avenues of haram, we have to slowly cut them out. If it's the avenues of haram coming through the ears, then we have to cut that out. If it's from the eyes, we have to cut that out. If it's the sustenance that I am eating, many times people understand that, to avoid haram, to avoid eating haram is just make sure I go to a place where is the zabih halal. And yes, that's very important. You go to a place that you know is established, the zabih halal place, and you eat there, you eat your halal sustenance. But if the income which you're using to buy the sustenance, if the income which you're using to buy the sustenance to feed your family, if that income is haram, then that effect will have an effect in the ruh. It has a very subtle effect, and that effect you can see it very apparently. The children become disobedient, spouses become disobedient, just to navigate in your day-to-day life becomes very disturbing, very difficult. Maybe we have to look at our income. How are we bringing sustenance to our family? How are we becoming the means of sustenance, of bringing sustenance to the family? Make sure the avenue is also halal. So yes, the eyes, the ears, what are we putting into our body, and our thoughts. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that when my slave, when my makhluk, when they ask you about me, إِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. When my slave asks you, O Muhammad, about me, then tell them that I am near. Right? When the people ask you, oh Rasulullah, where is Allah? Or if they ask you questions regarding me, then tell them that I am near. What is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling? Advising Rasulullah, telling Rasulullah that He is near? That any dua you have, know that Allah hears your du'as. Any dua you have, know that Allah hears your du'as. And when you do make dua, you make dua with the conviction that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept my dua. If you feel, I'm a sinful person, I do so much wrong, so much evil is in my life, why would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept my du'as? Or I'm involved in so much haram. Why would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept my dua? I'm such an evil person. But these are the whispers of shaitan. This is the waswas of shaitan. That those that have already gone astray, shaitan will put this final thought in their mind. That you're already an evil, bad person. Who are you to make dua? He puts his final thought into the person's mind, and then he feels Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is upset with me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala na'udhu cannot or will not accept my prayer, will not forgive me. That's the whisper of shaitan. When we raise our hands and when we make dua for whatever it is that we want, we have conviction Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept. We have to also understand that making dua is not a person placing an order. When you place an order at a fast food joint and the order comes with no ketchup or less ketchup or missing one of the condiments and you get upset, right? We cannot get upset with the hukum that is dealt to us. We cannot get upset whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us, right? As the hadith, the Mufassir explained, the dua is accepted in many manners, from the few or from the many. They focus on the four, or scholars say there's only four, and that is what? Whatever you ask for, you get it immediately. You have made dua for something, you get it immediately. Or you make your dua, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you in a later time. Or you make dua, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you something better in its place. Because you made the dua, Allah gives you something better. Another scenario, you made dua because of your dua, because of the time you gave to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, asking from Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saves you from a calamity. Scholars also have mentioned the same thing about sadaqah. And a person makes dua, but he never sees the fruits of the dua in his life. And then when he goes to Jannah, inshallah, he sees such huge, huge mountains of reward waiting for him. And he's surprised, oh Allah, what great action did I did in the previous life that I've garnered such reward. And Allah subhanahu mentions, you made dua. You made dua and you continue making dua, whether you saw the benefits of it or not, but you continue making dua. Right? The more we ask, the more dua we make to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more closer we get to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to act upon what has been said. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us understanding, or the tawfiq, the strength to leave the haram and spiritually prepare ourselves for the days of Ramadan. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to increase whatever amal that is that we are lacking. So that when the month of Ramadan comes, we're not just hit with the wave of the schedule change. We're used to it. I already have a habit of waking up for Fajr. I already have a habit of waking up for Tahajjud. So now the schedule of Ramadan doesn't affect me at all. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروا إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. إن شاء الله sometime for Sunnah.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه. أما بعد، فيا أيها الناس وحدوا الله، فإن التوحيد رأس الطاعات، واتقوا الله فإن التقوى ملاك الحسنات، وعليكم بسنة فإن السنة تهدي إلى الإطاعة، ومن أطاع الله ورسوله فقد رشد واهتدى، وإياكم بدعة فإن البدعة تهدي إلى المعصية، ومن يعص الله ورسوله فقد ضل وغوى. وعليكم بصدق فإن الصدق ينجي والكذب يهلك، وعليكم بالإحسان فإن الله يحب المحسنين، ولا تحب الدنيا فتكونوا من الخاسرين. ألا وإن نفسا لا تموت حتى تستكمل رزقها، فاتقوا الله وأجملوا في الطلب وتوكلوا عليه فإن الله يحب المتوكلين. ودعوه فإن ربكم مجيب داعين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم إن الذين يستكبرون عن عبادتي سيدخلون جهنم داخرين فاستغفروه يمددكم بأموال وبنين. بارك الله لنا ولكم في القرآن الكريم، ونفعنا وإياكم بما فيه من الآيات والذكر الحكيم. أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه، ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد بعدد من صلى وصام، اللهم صل على محمد بعدد من قعد وقام، وصل على جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى ملائكته المقربين وعلى عباد الله الصالحين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. عباد الله رحمكم الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. ولذكر الله تعالى أعلى وأولى وعز وجل وتم وأكبر، والله يعلم ما تصنعون. أقيموا الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله، أشهد أن محمد رسول الله، أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. حي على الصلاة، حي على الصلاة، حي على الفلاح، حي على الفلاح. قد قامت الصلاة، قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر، الله أكبر، لا إله إلا الله.
Just straight in line with the gaps. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى وذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.